Thank you, Chairman. Good to see you, Mr. Clayton. I am grateful for your longstanding service to our country. Thanks to your family for all it's done and all it's prepared to do after you're confirmed. I want to build on some of our conversations that we had in the office, which I found productive, and turn to issues of technology and economic security, which you know are important to me. As chairman of the SEC and more recently as a U.S. attorney, you had a lot of experience in advancing American economic and technology security, especially from manipulative practices of our strategic competitors and adversaries. Maybe you could just speak to that.
Senator Young, it troubles me, and it very much troubled me that foreign actors, sometimes state-sponsored actors, abused our securities markets, abused them in some traditional ways and non-traditional ways, including what we refer to as pump and dump schemes, basically luring, unsuspecting American citizens into investing in securities that were not worth what they were, projected to be, taking that money, prices drop, running away, being offshore. And as I said, one of the problems with our global markets is our ability to go get bad actors that act from outside of the United States is very limited.
And I've proposed some measures to help the SEC crack down on this. They've not prioritized this in the last year or so, so I'll continue to work that set. But I want to be supportive in this capacity, this intelligence capacity that you'll assume to help our nation crack down on that. From your tenure at SEC, how might you approach ensuring that there's adequately intel support to our federal entities that aren't traditionally known as national security entities, USDA, Commerce, SEC?
Yeah. Let me give you a recent example that we had in the Southern District about Commerce and chips and our restriction on chip shipments to certain of our adversaries. That's an extremely important national security issue. We wouldn't be restricting those chips if it were just a commercial issue. It is a sort of capabilities issue, and that's something that we need, I believe, to continue to work with other agencies on.
So it's important for me to hear you say that because conceptually, I sit on a number of committees, most of which deal with what I think an outsider would regard as strictly economic issues. I've always approached them first and foremost from an economic or from a national security perspective. I think it's really important that all our agencies are first thinking about national security before they think about anything else. So I'm grateful for that mindset. Last thing I want to turn to in our brief time today is following what is now law as it relates to COVID declassifications. I authored a requirement in last year's Intel Authorization Act for OD&I to review intelligence for public release relating to China's efforts to cover up the COVID pandemic and interfere with our response. Do you commit to following the law, ensuring that this review is completed as soon as possible, and ensuring all appropriate intelligence is released so the world can better understand China's bad behavior? Yes or no, please.
I have a hard time with yes or no answers, sorry, but what I can say is I think there's a whole lot more to learn from what happened in COVID, and there's a lot of work for, I hope to know more. There's a lot of work for our intelligence community to do to ensure that the American people have access to that learning, and to the extent it should be classified, you have access to that learning.
I gave you important qualifiers there. So as soon as possible, that was a qualifier. And because it can be difficult, especially in this format, to internalize the question. I'm
that,
trying to trip you up.
No, on that.
And then ensuring all appropriate intelligence is released. I mean, you have a legal background. There's a lot of room there.
Okay, I'll take it. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.